Mates, and welcome to a new segment on the odd set. And I'm Haikal. What's up?
Wagwan, Maddie. Hafiz,
Yep.
introduce yourself.
I yeah looked a bit different Hafiz will grew a full beard overnight lah.
we've,
Anyways, I'm Ishwan. Nice to meet everyone.
we've managed to get Pritam Singh on board.
This one pretensing, bro.
Oh man.
this,
Mehdi, what
this,
what
this is
what are we
gonna
gonna do
be
here?
a new segment. We've always wanted to do something like this, right? Talk about football because that's what we do on the daily. And then now
Right.
that the football season is back, so we decided to add on a new segment. Do not worry if you guys are fans of the other odd set things. We'll still be running that.
For
But
sure,
this
definitely.
hopefully we will do weekly roundups of the Premier League for you guys. You might see 3 of us, you might see 4. We're still trying to get Hafiz to come on board. And if you guys are fans of other teams, like the smaller clubs lah, because we are representing the big clubs.
Yep.
No, just kidding. If you guys
You're
are
big,
fans
you're
of
big.
other clubs and you guys want to, just come on board and chat football shit with us, you can do so. Let us know. You can let any of us know. So,
Yeah,
what
right.
teams do you guys represent, by the way?
The biggest
The one
club.
and only, man.
If you all should know, the biggest club in the world. One of the biggest club in the world.
I've known these two guys for a very long time, right? So these guys sit on different spectrums of the Manchester United fan base. His mom is the ever optimistic, always positive, hopes that everything will be okay kind of Manchester United fan. Then Heikel is the ever angry, caps lock, everything is turning to shit kind
Exactly.
of Manchester United fan.
He's gone down the
But
drain.
one thing in common with for the both of them this week is they are 0 points collectors of this match week one. The first, we're gonna dive right into it. Old Trafford, Manchester United 0, Arsenal 1.
Let's
You
go.
guys are the United fans, so take it away, boys.
Ismam, you may do the honors, bro.
And
Go for
I
it.
honestly I feel cautiously optimistic, lah.
Mm.
Like minus the results, like I feel like it was very not controversial. I honestly feel like it was not really, it was a foul, but at the same time, like Bender should have done better.
Mhm.
He has to be stronger. He has to be stronger because the same thing happened in the opposite side of the field.
Yeah.
The United players, we tried to block off David Raya, but then at the same time, like, I feel like that's what a keeper should do, right? Like come out and be dominating and be presence. To be very fair, like I feel like this is the best football we have played in a few years.
Agreed. I
Yep.
agree. I agree.
And it's very, very different. Like I feel like the whole of last season we saw the same problem. Like the play is very slow. But I feel it's deliberately slow. I mean, this is how the whole system I think works. Like the 3-4-3 that he's trying to build up. Like it's deliberately slow. But last year we didn't have the players like Cunha, right, who can do the half turn and just like drive the ball in. And it's insane.
Oh, did you
Like
see that touch?
bro, it's mad.
Ben White.
It's crazy.
Gone.
Ben White got sent to the shops, man. Like
Gone, bro.
got sent for some hot dogs, bro. But then right, like the whole thing, bro. Like I feel like even like players like Mbeumo, they haven't even gelling yet,
Yeah.
right?
Mm.
But at the same time, I've seen United play against big teams and always turn up, right? It's
Yeah,
just a
exactly,
United
yeah.
thing to do. But I'm hope like the real test comes next week against like teams like Fulham and all these
Yeah.
kind of things, right? But at the same time, I feel like we did pretty well. We did pretty well, and I am proud. Although we lost like that, I'm still proud of the team. I don't know. I know as Mehdi said, man, caution, like I'm the Mr. Optimistic, Mr. It's not only
It's
doom
like
and gloom. What about you, Michael?
Okay.
What about you?
I've got some things to say as well. But let's start because like I feel personally first 11 was slightly wrong on Amorim's part. I think I guess he chose on the players that were fully fit and ready to go, but I felt that a striker should have started.
Mhm.
If Zirkzee was recovering from injury and getting back, Sesko should have started irregardless whether he was ready or not, because as we can see in the first half, we had pockets of chances where we were actually already through, but no one was in the box to push that last defensive line to occupy Gabriel and Gabriel Magalhaes and
Saliba.
Saliba, right?
Yeah.
And that was an issue because whenever, like for example, Dorgu got through, he wanted to send the ball in, but there was no one, and then he took the shot instead, right? Um, Cunha Mount was outside the box, when that happened. So I think a striker had to start there. I'm not saying that Cunha or Mount couldn't play as striker. They were good at the pressing and stuff like that, but they are not naturally strikers. So I think that was seen when we attack. Defensively, I don't know the this guy nothing. I mean, cannot close. He cannot close, right? By the league. So the league did a very, very amazing job. I was surprised because people were saying last season like, oh, he's soft and like this and that and stuff. But he did a good job. Um, Another one that I got to mention is earlier you said the goal by that Bainde let in. I agree. I still feel it's a foul on Mount, not on Bainde. Saliba was holding on to Mount. I guess the referee didn't see that. VAR also I think didn't see that because VAR probably using some dark shades inside the room or whatever in a dark room. But um I've got to mention this because that corner shouldn't have happened. Bruno should have done better. He should have known. He should have known to clear the ball at that dangerous position where he was surrounded by three other Arsenal players. He tried to control the ball and lay it off. He should actually instead just pump the ball up, because he was already inside the box. It wasn't like as if it was at the edge of the box or it was outside. Yeah, I think that for me was very critical. And then they got the corner, and then unfortunately Arsenal scored. Also, I feel that what you said is true. Cunha and Mbuemo, what drivers they are, man. Like they took the responsibility and did it however way they could. And it was just sad because, like, when Cunha drove and then he got through and he took the shot. Just imagine if we had Sesko, man.
Yes.
Or okay, if not Sesko, any other striker, he could have played off with the striker.
Hoyland.
Or it doesn't matter. Even if it was Hoyland, honestly, even if we had no choice but to play Hoyland, I would still put a striker there, let Hoyland wrestle with with Saliba or Gabriel, and then that will open up more space for Cunha and then Mbuemo to like do their thing. So I feel like without that striker, Mbuemo and Cunha had to do too much. You know, um, I
But
got to.
I feel like as much as you were mentioning like squad selection, I totally agree with the point that they should have started a striker. But one thing I was surprised that Amorim got it right, even when I was looking at the squad, the lineup for the day was Luke Shaw. Luke Shaw somehow turned up.
That's
I don't know how he does that, and then he goes back into the injury list for another 6 months, and then comes back out.
but you got to understand. I don't know whether his mom will agree with me. Luke Shaw is a part-time footballer.
Oh, back this guy, man.
So he'll
This
turn up. He'll
guy.
turn up probably like 6 games, and then after that he'll go back to playing COD or I don't know FIFA
And then
or
after that,
whatever.
he will end up playing for England at the World
Yeah,
Cup.
yeah,
Standard stuff.
exactly.
It's always a
So you guys are in agreement about that. But one thing I know that you guys are in is agreement with is Bruno Fernandes. So do you guys need Bruno Fernandes or not?
go first, Hacker.
Huh? I go first.
You want go first?
Okay,
Present your argument.
okay, I'll go first. I believe that one, I think the opportunity to get 100 mil for him was a waste.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not. I believe and I stand by what I say.
Mm-hmm.
Because why? I think he has done his part for United. I think he has done an amazing job for United. But he's and in saying this, I don't believe, or I don't think that everyone should always perform at 120% every game.
Mm-hmm.
Players like Salah is a good example, right? He's a ghost almost every game, but he's there. right? At the end of the day, he's going to score a goal, he's going to assist, he's going to do something. He's always there. Bruno is there maybe for one game, but then the next 5 games he might be missing. So consistency is not really that crazy for Bruno. I think there are a lot of other players who are more consistent than him. And it's seen because, like, like what you said, I think, or what we know, he's everywhere on the pitch, right? Sometimes when you're everywhere on the pitch, you get tired, bro. And he doesn't have to be everywhere on the pitch. You know, he can actually be more sticking more to his role, and then he can actually not make those mistakes that are so costly, because his mistakes are a lot of times costly. Even though he scores for us, he still gets the assist or whatever. But I think it is at his level, he should be performing way better than what he does sometimes. And again, I'm saying he can't be perfect. I get it. Not all players can be perfect, but at his level, I think he should know that sometimes simple things are way better. Simple things like simple passes. Not giving hospital ball to your teammate. And also, I'm okay with the captaincy. I'm okay with him holding the captain, but he should be more how would I say it? He should be more, he should act more like a captain lah. And sometimes the whining at that point it was a bit too much for me, even though I know it's something that he does a lot at that point. But I don't know, man. Like, I think we wasted a chance to get 100 mil for him. And I think in this system right now, he is like, he and Mino a bit the same, no? Like, now they both like don't know how are they going to integrate into the system. And when I saw what I saw yesterday with when Ahmad came in, when and how Cunha and Mbuemo are playing, maybe we don't really need him right now. That's how I feel. I might be wrong. His numbers are there. I can't deny his numbers. He's proven. He's shown he can provide for us. But I think his highlight, Bruno's highlight, was his first season at United, where he carried us the whole season. And then after that, to me, it went down. It wasn't the same for me with Bruno. It wasn't like, he brought us all the way up. No, it just started slowly going down and down and down. So, like Rashford said, maybe because of the changing of managers always. I understand, but I think at their professionalism, their level, the standards should always try to be, if not 100%, at least 80-75% always, and try to maintain that. So yeah, man, that's how I feel about Bruno.
Ismam, do you think they should have taken the 100 million?
I mean, if I'm talking in hindsight, after seeing what like Cunha and Mbuemo are doing, right? I'm just talking about just like playing perspective lah. Maybe now I would have lah, because I didn't know how Cunha and Mbuemo gonna affect the squad. But at the same time, as I was mentioning, right, I feel like the leadership position that he has, like the influence that he has over the squad, I feel we cannot lose a captain right now. If we were to lose a captain again, like I don't see another captain in United. That's the problem. You know what I mean? Like when you look at likes of Liverpool, even City lah, or Chelsea, like they have captains all around.
That's right.
United, we don't really have one. Like the next one, who? Like the league in the future. But that's like way further down. I think that's my thing. Like, I think the league, if he carries on what he's doing, he's gonna be our future captain, because he has led an Ajax team at the age of 19.
Yeah, he was a
Okay,
captain
and
at a young age.
he has, I feel he has a dog in him lah. But as Heiko was mentioning, like a lot of people will say things like, he's soft and all this kind of thing, which I don't understand. And then they keep on saying, oh, why is he went from Ajax to like Juve, then Juve to Bayern to United. But thing is, these are all top teams, Like people are not realizing that these are like elite teams, who require, but somehow or other, things didn't really quite work out. But he's still a young guy, he's not old.
Yeah.
So I feel like if potentially there is a captain in United, it's probably him lah. So if you're
Mm.
talking about that perspective, Bruno, I feel is needed, still needed lah. But of course, that being said, Paul Scholes once mentioned in one of the podcasts, he was saying, if I am playing with Bruno, I do not know where he is. And that is a big problem.
Mm.
When I do not know where my player is, right, it's a big problem because you don't know how to transition out and all these kind of things. But as I mentioned, like, I mean, in hindsight, everything is good in hindsight.
Yep.
But if you ask me, would I have still kept him for this season? I definitely would because this is the transition season for us, I feel.
Yeah.
This is a season where, like a lot of things are set to stone lah. And we need good people leading us in terms of as frustrating as a player he can be, right? He is also the one like will bring joy to us lah. So that's my take. So for this season, yeah, 100 million, whatever, but I would still have kept him for this.
Kept him.
And he knows himself, he knows it, and he knows that maybe he's gonna be a surplus to requirement next season, and he's aware of it.
Yeah.
He said, "I will leave if United doesn't need me anymore."
That's true.
Throughout the season, I feel if Ruben actually is the real deal, right? Because he's the only player that doesn't get subbed off. If you notice,
Yeah.
But to me, the best ability is availability, lah. Right? We were talking about Luke Shaw just now,
Best
and like
ability is
it is right.
availability.
It is like to me this is the best thing a player can provide. So like the bomb squad, like Garnacho, all this, like he was available all the time. So
Yeah.
to me, I don't really like have too much hate towards him because like no matter what, week in, week out, he still is there.
Yeah.
As compared to so many of the players who don't want to be there or like lazy to run around. Bruno never does it. But it's
Yeah,
just that I feel like
that's
if he can refine his game, right, it's still not too late.
Yeah.
It's still not too late. It's still really, I honestly feel it's still not too late. As long as he just simplifies his game, make sure he's in the center, doesn't like run around too much. Because we don't need him to be that guy anymore, you see.
I think right, he would do so much better, right, if he stayed in the center and all he does, right, is just distribute, right?
Exactly.
Just leave the running to all your other players around you. I mean, I'm not saying don't be lazy. I'm not saying suddenly just like you just be lazy. No, but know the time to go and know the time to like hold and then save your energy, right? You're not getting younger, and
Like play the Tony Kroos rule, right?
Yes,
The Tony Kroos,
exactly. That's
But
what
just
Kroos
play
do.
that role.
With that being said, like we never know what his instructions are from the manager. The manager might not be telling him to just hang on and then find your moments, right? The manager might be giving him a different set of instructions, given that how unwilling Amorim was to sell him.
Yeah.
So we never know what are the
I mean, hopefully
instructions given to him.
hopefully after Amorim watches our episode, then he starts giving.
Paul Scholes, if you are listening, also you should come and share with us what are your thoughts. But I have to speak on the neutral perspective. We have to go into Arsenal. So what I thought happened for Arsenal was, I think it was kind of a weird game, but I can understand the game that Arsenal played because irregardless of where Man United finished last season, 15th or so, a game at Old Trafford is a game at Old Trafford, right? A game opener, a season opener at Old Trafford is always going to be difficult. I think even the tail end of last season, if we looked at it, like Liverpool struggled at Old Trafford and then Arsenal struggled at Old Trafford. In fact, when I was hoping that United did something against Arsenal at the end of last season, which you guys did, I think it was a draw, right?
Yeah, really
So I
tough.
think it was a difficult game for Arsenal, but at the same time, I think they will be more than happy with the 3 points. I mean, people are going to talk about like, oh, Arsenal didn't play well and all that, right? But it's a game to get out of the way. Would you want to do it now or at a later time where United are more gel, given the fact that United have had bought some amazing players? It can only get better. I mean, hopefully, right? It can only get better. So I think for Arsenal, it's a win situation. Like I didn't play my best, but I still got the 3 points. And end of the day, if that's what if they are looking to be champions, that's what champions do, right?
Exactly.
It's about grafting lah. Yep.
Victor Gyökeres had more hair adjustments than involvements in the game. So, but when it comes to Arsenal, right, what I feel they have the squad depth for it this season. As much as I don't like Arteta and hope he doesn't win anything, but we have to be neutral on a podcast about football podcast. But Arsenal have, I think, the best squad depth out of all the other teams, barring City. But City have some, like, unknown players that, you don't know how it will turn out. Although game week 1 it turned out well, but Arsenal have proper players, like, like Zubimendi is like internationally tested. Gyökeres, I mean, of course, they bought him with the pedigree of what he did at Lisbon, so he's bound to score some goals, right? And then they have that. Even I was surprised on their right back, left back selection. I didn't expect, like, who was it? Ben White and Califury to start the game. So that itself shows that they have the depth. But one thing that Arsenal, I think, somewhere down the line that Arteta has to figure out is, when Martin Odegaard doesn't perform, he has to do the thing that Amorim doesn't like to do as well. Doesn't like to take out Fernandes, right? Odegaard also rarely goes out. I mean, if you look at the whole
Any
season, I'm
games,
not
yep,
just
yep.
talking about this game.
That's
He
right.
tried to keep him to be the difference maker. So, but now they have more players, so maybe there might be some rotation. I think Saka had a bad game,
Oh,
but
he was quiet.
that might be due to how effective, like,
I
Luke
would
Shaw
say
was,
I,
Dogu was, right?
exactly. I would say I think that their whole attacking line actually didn't have a good game because Odegaard was closed down by Casemiro, man. Like
Mhm.
it was weird to see that Casemiro was so hungry that game and
And
got
lean.
yeah and but if you realize, like, his passes were the one that were connecting
Unlocking,
Casemiro.
right? Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
and then he defended and closed Odegaard most of the time. So
Mm.
it was a bit weird to see because Martinelli has the speed, Saka has that like technicality and, like, silkiness a little bit. So I would say the whole front line had a pretty tough game,
Mhm.
especially with D-League closing down Gyökeres like crazy, giving him no space, giving him no chance. So, yeah, man, I think Arsenal would definitely take that 3 points, man, for sure.
But
Yeah.
I feel like being like Arsenal, like no matter what happens, right, like this performance at Old Trafford, like no matter, like people will. If I was an Arsenal fan, like I would say that you can chat all the shit you want to chat. But end of the day, we went to Old Trafford, we got a point.
Yeah.
But the moment they scored the first goal, I knew this was gonna happen.
Yeah.
And rightly so. Like I honestly feel like if you want to win the league, right, no matter what happens, right, you have to go through games like this where you just have to like grind it out.
Mhm.
Like that
Mm,
1-0
mm.
lead, after that, you have to like be very compact, lah, which they
Yeah.
were, lah, right? They were very,
Yeah.
very compact and we couldn't, there's
Dark,
no
dark
space for us to
arts.
breathe. Dark arts or whatever. Like, Mourinho was the king of the dark arts back in the day, lah.
Yeah.
But 3 points is 3 points. Like, fair
That's
play.
true.
Like, I mean, as a United fan, sometimes I'm like, it took me like a day or two to like kind of come to terms with it. But end of the day, it's
Mhm.
true. Like, 3 points is 3 points. Lah. If
Yeah.
I go to if I go to Emirates today, and if I
Mhm.
score one goal, and after that I park and I win, like no matter what
It's
you
still 3
shed, end of the
points.
day,
Right.
it's 3 points.
Yeah.
Right.
It's 3 points. But the question now is this sustainable or not? The way of the way they're playing, because we are gonna go to the next section, right? Where we're gonna talk about the other teams that. But end
Mhm.
of the day, it's still early days. It's just one game, right? It doesn't
Yeah.
determine
First
anything at
game,
all.
guys. First
So
It
game
doesn't
off
of the
determine anything.
season.
So we're gonna close this Man United Arsenal game segment with what I like to ask you guys. What's your
Hmm.
prediction for where Man United will finish this season? I mean, you guys don't have to explain, just table position.
I think it's FIFA.
FIFA.
I think they have to go all out fourth.
Whew. But
No
whether
European games,
fourth
bro.
or
Yeah.
fifth is still like UCL spots, right? I think fifth, there's a high chance that.
Yeah.
So okay, we will come back at the end of the season and see how close or how
Hey,
far you
what about
guys.
Arsenal?
Arsenal. Okay, here's my thought. Right, like I think Arsenal. Uh, this is not me being like trying to play it cool that Liverpool cannot win. Arsenal are either going to be champions or Arsenal are going to finish second. There's just one or two positions that I see them finishing. But Ismam has a really outside shout about it. Bro, well, what's your Arsenal take? Where will they end?
No, I think after the first game, I realized I think I changed my mind. I think it's either first or third, not second.
Same.
First or
Same.
third?
Yeah, because the
What happened to
second I
second, Jan?
no, because I feel like City, the way they are playing, right, is actually very scary.
The
But
players they
I
have
saw the
now.
first
The
game.
player
we
they
will
have now.
we will we will
It's
touch on that
insane.
Yep.
that game for
Yep.
sure
Yep. Yep. Yep.
later. So we will move on to game two, champions of 24-25 season, the one and only. Oh, this side,
What?
since the camera, Liverpool
What a
Football
opening
Club.
match, though. What an opening
Right.
match.
I
I
felt like the
loved
rest
that
of
game,
the games
bro.
didn't like match up to it. Like
I
because like there were
love
some
that game.
1-0, 0-0s and all
Yeah.
that. But yeah, when it comes to the game, right, as a Liverpool fan, uh, I'm right smack in the middle. I wouldn't say I'm like super optimistic. Neither would I say I'm super pessimistic about it, because the reason being is, one, we could score 4 goals, so that is a plus. But two, the 2 goals that we conceded were basically what we had to address all summer long. We
Mm.
had to address these things that I feel like last season, a lot of the goals we conceded were from transition. We mess up, like there's a miss pass at at the top end of the pitch, and then the
Mm.
ball just goes all the way quickly to the other side. Opponents hit us on the counter and they score. So it's the same thing that happened. Both goals were the same. I think the first one, Soboslai missed the ball. I think both of it was on him. He
Mm.
lost the ball and then it ended on the other side and they scored. So the only thing that, but before the season, I think I told some of you guys, right? I think even Slot put it in that way that this season, I think unfortunate things have happened, like off season, right? Jota passed away and all that.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure what will be the mindset of the players. Will they be? There are two sides of to this. Like, one is they are extremely motivated to do it for him. The other is they are extremely affected that it affects the football. I
Mm.
think as a Liverpool fan, fairly okay with both, even if they do not perform this season. I mean, people will say it's like excuses and all that. We saw Salah crying at the end of the game.
Yep.
Salah is so mentally strong and all that. I've seen him like emotional twice. Once when Sergio Ramos broke his hand back in like the old Champions League final, and then after this game, and it was unlike Salah, so you know that the players are affected by what has happened. And then there's also, of course, I shared with you guys the photo that they preserve Jota's place in the dressing room.
Mm. Yep. That's
So
right.
it's difficult to see, especially for the older players who were there with him. You're not sure how it's going to turn out, right?
I feel they played really well.
Mm-hmm.
No matter the unfortunate passing of Jota,
Mm-hmm.
um, they played really well. I think it's true. We might never know the extent of how much they're affected, but from the look of their football on that day,
Mm-hmm.
I think they did well, and I think they did for the pressure of like the opening game, the fans turning up.
Mm-hmm.
I think they did superb, and they did what they're supposed to do. They had a tough game for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Um, who would have thought that? I mean, of course, Bournemouth is always a boogie team, but they did well, man. Ekitike scored a debut goal. Um, Salah scoring with his right foot, even to me that is amazing, man. Like, and even though yes, of course they can work. They were still missing with some things, and some
Mm-hmm.
of the players were not really up to that standard yet. But I think as overall with the with the incident that happened, I think they did really well, man. I think of course again we don't know how much they're affected. Um, but I think they football wise, I think they would want to rally and do it for Jota as well. I think they,
Mm-hmm.
they have that same mentality now. This could actually kick them off to like go even harder, and like it could make them even closer. So
I
um
mentioned it's like two sides of the coin. But when you mentioned Salah scoring on the with his right foot, right?
Mm,
I
mm.
think like we have to. I think this is 10 goals in 9 seasons when it comes to openers,
Openers, yeah.
opening
Yep.
day, right? It's time to take out the disrespect Eden Hazard is sitting somewhere at the Chelsea Crystal Palace game at 34 years old, and Mo Salah is. I get super annoyed whenever I hear this comparison of Eden Hazard and Mo Salah. Right?
Mm, mm.
I'm not denying Hazard on his day, brilliant player, carried that Chelsea squad, and then it was fun to watch.
Yep.
But you cannot compare now the longevity. Of course, everybody will have a different perspective of this, but you're talking about 9 seasons, and every season they say they write him off. They write more off, like, oh, he's not going to do it this season. He's not going to do it this season. But for 9 continuous season in EPL, Salah has proven that he's right up there.
Yep.
So comparing him to Hazard, whether you guys want to compare him to Hazard or not, I'm not sure. But you have to give Salah his flowers, and then the disrespect has to go, whereby people are like, oh, you remember
One season
after
wonder, they say, one season wonder.
season 1 they said he was a one season wonder. Even
Yeah.
I did not expect Mo to do the things that he has done
Exactly.
up to now.
Yeah.
When he came, I was like, okay, we've signed a winger. Like, we know that it didn't go well when he was at Chelsea. I didn't follow much of him in Roma, but we knew there was a player because on and off we watched the games, right?
He did quite well though at Roma.
Right. But
Yep.
it wasn't this good.
Yeah, no, of course,
right?
yeah.
But there are concerns. As a Liverpool fan, I think there are concerns when it comes to the transition thing. I think Slot also mentioned it very perfectly. This season is going to be harder than last season. Last season was Jurgen's team, and he said that he doesn't differ too much from Jurgen in terms of football playing style. So the team had to just minor tweaks and the team can go. But this season, there are changes to players, there are changes to profiles. So as much as there's going to be like, oh, you guys spend so much and you guys should win something, there's a lot of changes to the profile of players. Like, for example, if you look at Frimpong and Trent, 2 different players. If you look at Florian Wirtz, I don't think he had a good game. I think it was quite bad, to be honest. He is a player that we have not had since Coutinho. Right. Ekitike as a striker is doing a remarkable job. I'm sold on him. So that's why I don't think we need Alexander Isak. Screw the fella. But Ekitike is a profile that we've not had since Firmino. So there's a lot of changes to the only person that I think has some similarities to a previous player is Kirkes. And even then, he had a bad game. he had I don't know whether he was nervous.
Bodied by Semenyo,
Fella just.
But absolutely destroyed by Semenyo.
And this is a player. Sorry, this is a player who has already been in APL. You know, he didn't go. You know, he didn't sign for Liverpool from like Italian league or like
right.
He has been playing, and Semenyo was his teammate.
But I think it's the first game jitters lah. I honestly feel somehow you're at Anfield, right?
Bro,
The thing is, right, I think there are certain players, right, who cannot. I mean, I'm not talking about him, lah. I'm just talking about in general, right? Like the shirt of Liverpool and United, right? It's actually very heavy to hold.
But I wear quite okay, bro.
You wear okay, bro, because you got no champion there, bro. They said just now.
It is out of stock, okay? To anybody thinking that where is the champions? I'm a proud champion. Huh? The jersey has sold so well that the thing is out of stock. But yeah,
honestly, it is. You know, in so I was in Abu Dhabi last week, right? So one of my friend, he's a big time Liverpool fan. He tried to find the jersey, but it's out of stock. Even in Abu Dhabi, it's insane. So I thought, hey, wow. I went into the shop. I said, hey, wow, I don't have Liverpool jersey. Then my friend go ask, they say, out of stock, man. I said, oh, I see. I told him the game's gone, bro. just to get beaten.
On a side note, right? Do you guys know that there is a 700% increase in jersey sales for Liverpool this season as compared to last season? So now you know where the Alexander Isak money is coming from, right?
I see. No, but then I feel the jerseys are really nice, lah. But it looks a bit like United jersey, huh? Maybe.
I don't think so, bro. Because this looks like a top jersey and that looks like a 15th jersey.
Oh, like that. Oh, about the same, bro. No different,
But okay, let's because if we start on that, right, it's going to go for a very long time.
Okay.
Let's talk about Semenyo, because that is a guy that was so impressive. Okay, to be honest, right before the season, I had Bournemouth like to be in the lower half of the table solely
Yeah.
because they lost
All
four
their
out of
players, huh?
four out of
All
five
the
of their backline. So that
yeah.
includes, although Kepa is to me is a lousy keeper
Hoist
lah.
the Hoyson.
Kepa,
I think Hoyson was
yeah,
immense for them.
Yeah.
Hoyson, and then Kirkes, and then who
Mm.
was Zabani, right, to
Zabani,
Zabani,
PSG.
yeah.
yep,
And then
yep.
imagine how these players went to top clubs like Arsenal, Liverpool, Madrid, and PSG. So I
Mm.
was expecting them to struggle, but they came up to Anfield and put on such a good fight. And it was unfortunate that some dude on a wheelchair to spark some racist incident at
Mm.
which, so that's why I give a lot of credit to Semenyo, because he didn't react. I didn't even like when the play suddenly stopped, right? Like nobody knew what it was about, right? Like,
He
hey,
went
Yeah.
up to the referee. He went up to
why
the
did the
referee.
game stop? So
Yeah.
it showed that he was abused racially. He didn't react. He just walked up to the referee and then told him, and then the game got halted for a short while.
Yeah.
And then he went on to score 2 goals, and then it speaks
The
of
second goal,
the
two
mentality.
runs 2/3 of the field to like smash it in, and I
Crazy.
was
Post to
I'm
it's
post.
a
Almost
insane.
post to
big
post.
fan of Virgil van Dijk, but Van Dijk needs to stop this aura defending,
Aura
man.
defending.
His aura defending is not working in 2025 anymore, man. He just got to go and clatter the guy. He just ran straight. Can you believe he just ran straight and then
Yeah,
scored?
Yeah.
If he had missed it, then people would have been mad because he had a lot of other options to just pass it to the side, right?
Yeah.
yeah.
But Van Dijk's aura defending in 2025, I think people have figured it out that he's going to aura farm, and then
But I feel like the whole game, right? Like the only player that the only thing that was missing from the Liverpool team was Ryan Gravenberch, man. That
Mhm.
guy is immense.
Woo!
Yeah,
Honestly,
suspended.
without like if you notice, right, like there was no one really holding the midfield.
Mhm.
Like both goals, like same thing, right? Like Soboslai or someone loses the ball, then everyone pushes up, then no one to hold.
Yeah.
So I feel like Ryan Gravenberch is the most like one of the most pivotal part of this midfield, lah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because
because
he's the one
Grafton.
that
Woo!
holds, like he
he's
Crazy.
the
and the thing is
only
he is insane. The
six.
way he
Yeah.
turns for his size,
Yep.
how tall he is, his half turns are insane. Lah. To me, he's a absolute baller, lah.
And
Ryan
he
Gravenberch.
and he turns the ball is away from any
Correct.
opponents, bro.
Yeah.
That's
And he's so big,
crazy.
he can shield off players, bro. Like that's the thing.
Crazy.
I mean, I was a fan of him ever since he was in Ajax.
Mhm.
Yeah. And then
And
Ten Hag decided to buy all the Ajax players,
mm,
but except the good ones, lah.
um but
Eric
I
Ten
gotta
Hag.
ask
Mhm.
this to Mary now.
Mhm.
Since earlier you asked us Manchester United fans.
Mhm.
Do you think it's time for Van Dijk to go?
I don't think so. I think we need him more than ever, because solely because if you are telling me that is it time for Van Dijk to go, I think it's time for Ibrahima Konate to go. That guy is a
Mm.
time bomb lah. It's just a time
Mm.
bomb waiting to happen. Like, I can, if Liverpool do buy Mark Gehi, I would just take Konate out and put Gehi there,
Mm.
because Konate is like much alike to what you guys said about Bruno. Of course, Bruno is 10 times the player that Konate is lah. But
Mm.
much alike to what you guys say, it can be one good game and then it be 5 trash games whereby he is losing the ball, and then I'm not so, like, even if you ask me now, I would sell him to Madrid, because there is this possibility we are going to lose him on the free at the end of the season, because he seems to be unwilling to sign a new contract with us. So in the summer he goes for free, right? I think Van Dijk is a very much a big part. But with that being said, the succession plan needs to happen now.
You guys
To
just signed a
to
youngster, right? A young
to
centre back, right?
Leone, I'm gonna be honest, like not seen much of him other than YouTube, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, the succession has to happen. So whether it's Mark Gehi coming in or like training up Leone to be it has to happen, because at the end of the day, Van Dijk signed a 2-year deal, same with Mo. So the succession plan has to begin now, and then I think I won't be surprised if Salah goes at the end of the season, because there's
Yeah.
some
Mm.
value to him, right? Off to Saudi and something like that. Van Dijk, I think might stay, but we have to find the next wave for these two remarkable servants of the club.
Agree.
Okay.
I agree.
Yeah,
But
so
thanks Mo for scoring for some FPL points. Thank you. Opening
Yes.
season.
we
Always.
I've not looked at the FPL table. So at the end of this episode, before we end it, right, we're gonna go into the FPL app and see what's going on with the
You
odd league.
know,
If anybody wants to join us on the odd league, feel free. We'll leave the code for you guys to
yeah, man.
join. Okay, so we'll move on to the next game. So what's the next game that we have to dissect?
Chelsea Palace.
Man, this was a ball. This was a ball after
What do you all
uh,
think?
Yeah.
the world champions failed to score. But after the Eze free kick, right? I think for the benefit of the game, right, that free kick should have went in. If that free kick went in, I think Chelsea,
Game opens up. Huh?
right, the game would have opened up. But it was
Mm.
such a cagey affair. Like, of course, I'm not saying that, but it might be Chelsea are also exhausted. They had so much commitments. Like after the Conference League, they went deep into and they won the whole Conference League. And then
Mm.
I did not expect them to win the Club World Cup. They
Yeah.
did that as well. And then it's a very short break before the season started, much like
Yep.
for PSG. PSG also have a very small transition time. But I feel like it was that, like the effects of maybe the end season,
Mm.
the lack of rest.
I've
But of course, we
yeah.
cannot give like that. Cannot be an excuse because you need
Correct.
to play the tournaments that you qualify for, lah, kan?
Mm.
You make money from it, and that money can be reinvested into Garnacho maybe next.
Yes,
And
please take him. I'll drive him to the airport, bro.
and Siemens.
Oh yeah, Xavi Simons.
All right, Ismam, what do you think about the game, man? Chelsea and Palace.
Very very flat. I feel like but there were signs like the Gittins, the new signing, he was playing on the left, right?
Bino,
Then
yeah, Bino Gittins, yeah.
Pedro Neto was playing on the right. But I felt the game changed a bit the moment the Esteval guy came in. The new
Yeah,
the Brazilian
The
guy from
right winger.
Palmeiras.
yeah.
That guy is a serious baller, man. I feel like he completely changed the game. The moment he came on, right, you notice like they were a bit more on the front foot
Alive a bit, right?
and I mean more like. But I expected Joao Pedro to score lah, although he's
Mm.
not in my FPL. But
He is
like,
in my
cause
FPL. Damn it,
he had a very good preseason, not preseason, like all the league, like all the
Club World
FIFA
Cup.
World Cup, the Club World Cup, all
Yeah.
this kind of thing. I expected more of him. Even Palmer also, I think he ghosted a bit during the
Yeah.
game. Like he didn't really have the impact that I thought he would lah. But the
Mm.
moment that guy came in, Pedro Neto went to the left. The whole game opened up lah for Chelsea. But defensively, they are quite sound. Although
Mhm.
Levi Colwill is out for like another like 4 or 5 months, I think.
Yeah.
I didn't expect them to like be that solid. But I tell you, the whole reason why they are that good, right, because of Moises Caicedo, man. That guy
It's a
is
beast.
pound for pound, right, the best CDM in the Premier League,
Yeah.
without a doubt.
I think like I have to agree with this, right? As much as there's the season whereby we were supposed to get him and then we did not sign him, but we got Endo and then it still worked out perfectly for us, right? I feel like we will be another notch higher if we bought Caicedo.
Oof.
Caicedo was the one that Klopp wanted, right, at that point of
Yeah.
time, and then
Mm.
but then he chose to go to Chelsea. But yeah, I agree with what you say, man. Caicedo is such a beast in front of
He had a rough start, no? He had a
yeah,
rough start for his Chelsea career.
because
But then you can see,
I was very happy about it. Every time that
I know,
Caicedo,
a successful hate watch. I remember hate watching it also.
every time Caicedo messed up, then I was super excited. But yeah, like you said, he's a player. He's a play
He
top player.
single-handedly is keeping them like,
Solid.
like
But
I've not seen a CDM like this in a while, to be very fair with you.
when you
Like he
mentioned
can, yeah.
Gittins, right, earlier, sorry to interrupt you. When you mentioned Gittins earlier, right, what comes to my mind, right, is Chelsea should put a hold to buying players like in a rush. Like I feel like now that they are targeting Garnacho, right, and then they went to buy Gittins first, and then now they know that Garnacho's preference is Chelsea, right? I feel like that would have sufficed, like just Garnacho. I feel like Gittins, I don't, based on what I've seen, and then in like Dortmund also, right? We watch him play for Dortmund. I feel like he's a player that will be phased out quite soon. Like that is my take on Gittins. Like the moment like Garnacho comes in and then there's Neto to operate on the left, I feel like they will phase out like just like a few players that they have done the same to, right? They bought like I think I forgot what's the guy's name from Aston Villa. I like that center mid Chukwuemeka or something.
All sounds like the Harry Potter spells. Later my furniture start flying. Basically.
But I had high hopes for that guy, and then now they are talking about letting him go, and then they felt insulted that somebody offered 20 million for him, right? So I
I tell you
feel
what's
like
the bigger insult, bro. I tell you the biggest insult, okay? They offering 30 million for Garnacho. They sold Danny the what drink water. Not drink
so
water, what's the name? The
Dewsbury Hall.
Dewsbury Hall for
Yeah.
32 million.
Hey, drink
Okay?
water. Do you know what drink water is doing now?
He's a construction guy, I
Yeah,
know.
he's a owner of a construction site.
No, but it's crazy. Like, how can you lowball United like offer 30 million? Then you can sell this fella Dewsbury Hall for 32.
Even
Right?
Madueke. Okay, the problem is right. We have to sidetrack to Man United a bit for and why Chelsea is offering that, right? It's because you guys so publicly put out that we don't want these guys.
Yep.
That is Chelsea is going to wait, and then like at the end of the window, when they feel like okay, now Man U, if they reject, they're going to hold on to this player and have no plans for him. They're going to offer like 40 million maybe, and then hope
But
that
bro,
the
you see,
team.
it's a very delicate time, no? If today we accept 30 million, right? We are sending out a message to the rest of the players, right? That yes, you can throw your toy out of the pram, throw some tantrum, right? Then we're gonna sell you off for 30. So
But in the
if it requires us for him to hold him for one more season, right? Okay, he's on
Hold.
very low wages. Hold.
Hold.
You train with the boys, you know? You
You
train with the
hold.
young kids
okay,
and whatever.
what comes out at the end of that one season? The value is not going to go up, and then
Yeah.
you guys are going to lose him for what? Now he's 30. If he doesn't play one whole season,
Hold.
the whole part is fine. I understand. Like even Newcastle are trying
Teach
to
the
hold
fella
on
some
to
lesson.
Isak, right? But what do you stand to gain by holding, and then the value is going to drop? Okay, for example, like now you segue into Newcastle for a bit. If they hold on to Isak, put him in the under 21s, is the value going to go up next season? No. What's going to happen? And you have to remember that although we are just fans and we shouldn't be concerned about net spend, right? But Man United have to care about net spend. They have spent a
But
fair
also,
bit and sold absolutely nothing. So the 20 million for Sancho is now going to help a bit. 30 million,
No, the
40
freedom
million.
fighter don't want to go.
yeah.
You know why he doesn't want to go? Because like the thing is it's ridiculous because he feels that there's another club that's gonna come and offer him more.
Bro,
Which is
he's with Sawiti, bro.
sour tea, bro.
Sawiti, he doesn't need all this crap as Roma.
He needs money for more
Since
tattoos. He needs money for more tattoos, guy.
You know
the
what is
tattoo also so small when you get here.
Yeah.
Like he acting like
But
it's
this one
gonna cost him
expensive one,
300K.
no, expensive one.
you know what he's
Sawiti mah.
waiting for or not? Major League Soccer.
MLS.
Yeah, so he can
But
go and be with his girl.
Medi, in saying that, right? I think we also have to also mention that if if you think about it this way, right? If the players sit and they just don't
Rot.
do anything, they're gonna rot, man. They got to
Mm.
think about their playing careers as well. And if they don't, it's not just the club's responsibility for a player to grow. Of course, it's mostly on the club, but a player has to want to be better and want to get better, and if
I think,
he wants to sit and not do anything, then and he's gonna rot, then it's on
like I
him
said,
also.
the problem is about openly saying that I don't want you. So everybody is on high alert. Okay, look. Okay, for example, Sancho is quoted as 20 million, right? Liverpool's just sold Ben Doak for 25 million pounds to Bournemouth. Ben Doak has played in if you add all the games that he has played for Liverpool, right? It's maybe 2 games at max. And
Mm-mm.
that guy went for 25 million. The problem is you guys openly mentioned that you don't want him. And then
Mm.
for Liverpool is we are selling based on the fact that this is a prospect or is a good player here. You need to pay up. So that is the difference. But we need to go back to Chelsea Palace before we go back into the Liverpool Liverpool Man U dark hole again. So what do you guys think? Do you guys see the Mark Gahey and Glasner issue at the end of the game?
Yeah. What's up with that? He asked him to come, then
And
he
then
refused to come, right?
yeah, so
Yeah.
so there is that bit whereby it seems like I'm not sure about this. I again here say that Gehi wants to move out, right? By playing him, you might injure him. So maybe that is an issue, but I'm not sure. Players are nowadays throwing tantrums for every reason. It's very unprofessional of Mark Gehi, and he's the captain of Crystal Palace. Should not have done that. But for Crystal Palace, I think they're about to lose Eze. They're about to
Yeah,
lose.
gone to Spurs.
Yeah, is
I
going.
feel Arsenal should have taken him up. Like
Yeah, I think
a lot of Arsenal fans are very upset about it because I feel like Eze, let's say if Odegaard has a bad game, right?
Mhm.
Eze can actually be the one to change
Right.
things up for them, lah.
Yeah.
So, but at the
But
same time, like, I feel like the whole overall, if let's say Gehi and this Eze leaves Palace,
mm,
right?
mm.
How? Who they gonna replace him then with? They don't have much time. It's like 2 weeks to the end of the window. But I'm pretty sure these two players are gone, lah. Gehi is
Yeah,
confirmed coming to Liverpool, and I
mm,
feel that Eze is also gone.
going
But
to
how they
Spurs.
reinvest is I want to see like who they buy. Like they lost Odyssey also the season before.
Yep.
Yeah. And didn't really replace him, right? They didn't really replace,
No,
although
they didn't.
Sa can do a good job on the right hand side.
He played pretty well as well.
But I
Yeah,
think for Crystal Palace, they will be safe regardless of losing this player because Oliver Glasner is such a top manager.
Class
For
that guy.
he can steer them to. I don't have any worries on Palace where they will finish, probably mid table and all that. But I have no worries about them staying up, even if they sell what are their best players
mm.
in Eze and Mark Gahey. So, but just a quick wrap up on this game. Where do you think Chelsea will end at the end of the season?
Chelsea is I think top four lah, definitely top four. They
Right.
might be a dark horse actually, but like because they have depth and they have crazy depth. They have three different teams for three different competition, and that's crazy.
But the only thing with that being
Yeah.
mentioned, they cannot play like last season. They played that three different teams because they can play the smaller guys in the Conference League, right?
Hmm.
There's no way in hell they're gonna do it in the Champions League. They're
Yeah.
gonna get whipped, whipped if they do that. But
No, I
yeah,
think like for your League Cup and your FA Cup early rounds, I think they
yeah,
can still utilize all those. I honestly feel like if Chelsea, if what I saw in the Club World Cup, right?
mhm,
If they can replicate that or bit of it, right? Honestly, title shout isn't far away, lah. If I'm being very honest, they
yeah,
might be the dark horse, lah. They might be the dark horse. Who knows?
yep.
Yeah.
Boy, what do you
True.
think of Chelsea's
I think
position?
I think I think they have a chance if all their players like click and then like they suddenly go crazy. Palmer go crazy. This Estevao kid suddenly like wake up and then like I'm gonna go crazy and I think they can be the dark horse like what his mom said. But definitely it has to be top four for me as well for Chelsea. Like I think that like you guys mentioned, the depth freaking crazy, guys. Like the players
Mhm.
that they have in every position. Like you're talking like 3-4 wingers, just left wing or just right wing or just like set CDM, or they have so many good players, and they do have national starters as well, like Enzo and all these, who like anchors the team, Caicedo and everything. So I think they're quite strong. But uh on this, I have to give this shout out to Crystal Palace, Wharton. What
Oh, class player,
a
very
player.
class
I
player.
think United should go for him.
Mm-hmm.
That's I'm being like very like biased here, but United should go with crazy guy. I think he was like the Michael Carrick or Darren Fletcher type guy, or like working so hard and nobody notices, and his passes were so crisp. He was holding up the defense. He was actually troubling Chelsea as well. So damn, Wharton was
But
amazing.
Adam Wharton was always going to be a top player. Like I have a friend
Mm,
who is a Blackburn fan, right? So Wharton came from Blackburn to Palace.
mm.
Even then, they mentioned that this is a player that
There's a player
that
there,
that,
man.
that the Blackburn are unfortunate to lose. But of course, the chain is like a food chain, right? So
Yeah.
Blackburn to Palace, and then Wharton will be out to a big club. I think
Yep.
1-2 seasons at most. I don't think he'll be moving this season. So moving on to the next game, we have
City and Wolves.
Man City
Let's
and
do it.
Wolves. It was the Reinders show. I think in
Tijani, nasi
Tijani.
goreng.
Do you,
You know,
you-
fun fact, the fella is half Indonesian lah.
so do you know
Yeah,
what
nasi
is his
goreng.
favorite food?
Nasi
Nasi
goreng, ah.
goreng.
Yeah, he
Crazy.
he openly said that like
He's a
when
he's a Marib lah actually, yeah.
he looks like a Malay dude, with a small mustache going on. It was a Tijani Reinders show. I
Baller, man.
think right.
Oh,
I wouldn't say
balls.
like, of course now people are going like, oh yeah, he was great at AC Milan. Calm down. People need to calm down because we play AC Milan all the time when it comes to Champions League football, and then he has been okay. He would, but he had a great first game. So before people go like, see, I told you. No, nobody told me anything. Don't come and lie to my face right now. But that
Mm.
was a excellent performance
He
because
he
even
he showed up, man.
I didn't even expect him to do what he did for the first goal. It was, I think, something that that
He dribbled
little
past.
cheap ball,
He like
right?
reminds me of Frankie De Jong a bit, you know,
Facts.
Mm.
That's
like
true.
a Frankie De Jong-esque player. But I feel like this guy, right? He for the first game in the Premier League, right? Because Premier League is like a very physical, intensive. And he's not a big guy,
Mhm.
but he can move, man. Like he is silky on the ball. I feel his decision making is really solid, like.
Yeah.
His decision making, the composure he has on the ball for the first game in the Premier League,
Mm-hmm.
where you see like good players are like as
Struggle.
compared to like like likes of Florian Wirtz and all this,
Hey,
they're
what do you
world
mean?
class, right?
Mm.
I mean,
Yeah, I
first
get
game. I'm
you.
just talking about first game, like to show up like that, I think, and to think like they lost like Kevin De Bruyne, all the old guards who create opportunities. You would have thought that they would probably not
Yeah.
be this well reinforced, but I was completely wrong lah when
And
the
and
moment I
his
watched the game.
passing was amazing as well.
Class,
Yeah.
he's class. And who else? I think Ryan Cherky, Haaland, and Reinders, right? These three will be like they are the ones who are gonna link up, and I'm telling you, it's scary for the rest of the league. I mean, as
But
much as I'm not a fan of City, but it's scary to me lah the way they play.
I gotta mention Oscar Bob and Rico Lewis.
Oh,
mm,
I think even though the highlight was or the limelight was on Tijani Reinders, Haaland, and Cherky for scoring on his debut, Reinders on his debut. But Oscar Bob and Rico Lewis, that right hand side, they got it on lock, man. Like
plus
these two kids, the way they move and the way they create and the way they're always looking to create first and not selfish and like it's just crazy, man. Like I think these two are also another one to look out for Man City. I think that
Rico Lewis might be moving though. I
yeah.
think
I mean,
Forest, was it Forest?
mm,
Yeah,
mm.
Forest. So
hopefully, if he moves, then I mean, they still Oscar Bob is
right.
crazy,
Oscar Bob
man,
should have been a
crazy
fixture since last season, but unfortunately he had that long injury.
injury.
But
Yeah,
with that being said, right, the reason why I am not being a hater, I'm not so hyped on what happened was it's Wolves. And I believe Wolves will be in danger. The sole reason being everything the reason Wolves survived last season was because of Cunha.
menu again.
Yeah. No, this is one player. God damn it. These Man United fans. I need to pull in other fans. But they solely survived, I believe, because of
mm,
Cunha. And
mm.
then to lose him, and then now
Tough.
they
It's
did
tough.
not really reinforce what really happened with the Cunha money, right? Like,
Yeah.
so I think they will be in danger. They will be amongst the relegation fight again. I believe so. And then, like, I think for about 25, the reason why I'm not so sold, yes, it's a great performance. Don't get me wrong. Like, for scoring 4 goals, 4-0, all your new players having an impact, right? Is mad. But like I said, at the end of the day, it's Wolves. And then, like, for 25 minutes, I think Wolves put up a decent fight, and then Wolves became Wolves. They just struggled to. Once the first goal happened, they unlocked that first goal, and then you knew kind of what was going to happen.
Yeah. I got to
Right.
highlight one player from Wolves though, Munetsi.
Oh yeah, that's the only
Crazy.
guy. The only guy that
He
was
was
like
working, bro. He was
working
working. So
socks off.
But Strand
he
Larsen also, I think is a very good striker. Lah. Strand Larsen, I think
Strand Larsen, yeah.
he's bound like a move soon
He
lah
has
to
the
a bigger
physics as well. He has like he's
the
physically,
physicality
yeah,
like
he's
yeah
quite
he's
big, you know.
and
Yeah,
like
but
his runs he's a smart footballer. Like you see like the problem like okay, let's just go back to United again lah. The last season the problem we faced with Haaland was he's always at the far post when we need him at the near post, and always at the near post when we need him at the far post. But Strand Larsen, I feel like he can read the game a bit better. I think he's a good
mm,
striker.
Yeah.
If he bangs in like 10 goals this season, I'm sure like a bigger
will come in.
Premier
Yeah.
League team will come and snatch.
But to bang in 10 goals this season for Wolves without Cunha is going to be a, a difficult thing.
But bro,
Like,
strangely, right? Like last season, right? You were mentioning about okay, there was a point of time where Cunha was like, I think suspended for a little while, right?
I think just the end season. I think by then they
Towards
were more or less
like
safe already.
he didn't play for a while or stuff. Like, they were playing very well actually without him. And then when he came in, they started losing. I don't know why.
They only got out of the relegation zone like towards the end of the season, but we'll
Yeah.
see. But a special shout out to Wolves Tifo for the game for Diogo
Oh,
Mm.
Jota. That
18
Tifo
ah.
pretty
was
full.
that Tifo. When I saw it, I was like, man, we should have had something like this at Anfield because that
Mm.
Tifo was crazy. It's
Crazy, man.
like those FIFA.
Jota
Mm.
with a Wolves kit on. Woo,
For Man City
beautiful.
though, like as much as I say that this was not like the biggest test for them, like I think if everybody clicks and then they can for Man City, I feel like what you guys mentioned for like Arsenal like that. I feel they will be champions or they will be third. I don't see them ending at second because I feel like if everything clicks, they'll be champions. If things don't go so well, they'll finish at third.
Yeah, yeah.
So moving on from the Man City game, we have to cover this ball fest because it was two big clubs playing, Aston Villa and Newcastle. This was
My goodness.
the most boring game of the week.
Let's
If
just get that over with.
so okay, let's the elephant in the room is Newcastle don't have a striker and are trying to play the hard ball with Liverpool. By all means, go ahead and do that. Like if you can give us Isak or you can not do it, but you have a player who's not playing, and then potentially 150 million. 150 million to go and reinvest and buy a striker. It was so apparent that you didn't have a striker. There was Ilanga did a fantastic job. Shout out to Ilanga though.
Yep.
That's a great buy. And then you cannot have Gordon playing as your false nine. That is an out and out winger. So what is your solution? Get some money, go and reinvest. If you want to play like the bitter ex-girlfriend role and then make life difficult for Isak, I'm not saying this because he's going to Liverpool. If Manu offered for him and then he's throwing this tantrum or Arsenal or City, you have to let the player go solely because now you don't have outlet. If it comes to the last week of the transfer season, and then you'll be like, okay, man, I cannot control this situation. Let him go.
Mm,
What are you going to do with the 150 million in 1 week? Who are you going to find? Of course, now there's talks about Visa going but that is
Newcastle.
still not your Alexander Isak replacement. You have to change system
And you
because
have Champions League football as well.
Isak is a shorter guy, right?
Mm.
As in Visa is a shorter player, right?
Mm.
So you have to change. You have to figure out the system. You need at least two players up there. You have lost Callum Wilson as well. So you need to find a way to reinvest the money quickly. But if this is how the season is going to go, going into Champions League without a striker, I think it's going to be long, man. It's going to be long. I mean, Newcastle be Newcastle. They're still going to be top 8 for sure. And then people can look for me for it because I mentioned from Champions League to top 8, right? But if they get a striker, definitely I see them fighting for European spots. But if not, it's going to be difficult, man.
Yeah.
I
I
don't
want to.
understand how sorry, bro. I could
Sorry,
carry on, bro.
let me do a quick one for this game. I have two things only in mind for this game that I had. I remembered a lot was Ilanga, good move, fantastic player for Newcastle. I think he will work very well.
Mm-hmm.
And apart from that, Konsa first red card of the season. That's it I have about this game.
Yeah.
Ismam, sorry bro. Carry on.
I have the guy on my FPL, Kwanzaa, but
Oh
lucky,
shit.
but he was on my bench, bro.
Oh, it could
So
have been
dodge,
some
dodge,
negative.
dodge, dodge the bullet there.
So
But anyways,
bad.
I feel like Villa look flat, man. And
Yeah.
I tell you the reason why, right, is because they're playing John McGinn on the right,
Mm,
who is their driver in the midfield, and then they're playing Tielemans as number 10.
yeah.
Tielemans cannot play number 10. I think he's not the profile to like make quick turns to make
Yeah.
shit. But he's a good centre mid. Don't get
He
me
can
wrong.
feed the ball, He can feed the ball,
He can,
Like,
bro. Him,
yeah.
Onana, and this McGinn were very good midfield last season. They are very energetic. They're very, but the problem is they are trying something new whereby they're playing Tielemans as the 10, and it's not working out. Playing McGinn on the right, your most energetic guy in the midfield. He's a shit house. He's a proper shit house,
Yeah.
right? But he's a shit house of player. But I feel he's a baller in that sense, lah. Like
Yeah.
whereby he can really, he's the heart and soul of the team. So if
Yeah.
you play him out of the midfield, I think it's not going to work out. That is the reason why I felt that they were flat. But I think they will figure things out because Emery is a very, very smart coach. Lah.
Yeah.
But you
Like
know
good,
who
good, good evening, bro.
good
That's all
evening.
I can
Good
say.
evening.
Good
But you know who
evening.
messed things up for Aston Villa? We have to bring in this team again, Man United, because of the last game of the season of
Yeah.
the previous season, right? They've not made it to the Champions League. The Champions League money would have helped
Ah.
because they
Yeah.
really needed to put in offers
They are very tight on PSR. Yeah.
for Asensio. They could try to get an Asensio. They could have tried to bid for Rashford before like Barcelona and all that came in, right? So they
Yeah.
really needed that money. Even Jacob Ramsey. Jacob Ramsey has went to Newcastle, and some of the players have like spoken out and said that because he's a rival, right? Newcastle is a rival. Some of the
Yeah.
players have said that if you guys don't understand, do not like speak negatively about this guy because he was there as a kid and then now they are having to sell it for profit to be in line with PSR, right? So it's going to be if they have they invested much in players. I'm not very sure, but not your significant ones, right?
Yeah.
You needed to find like your left wing solution because last year when Rashford came in, he gave them a left wing solution. And then when Asensio was the biggest solution for all of them. So they needed these players without the Champions League money. Now they're gonna have to find solutions within the team rather than then. So that ball fest, I hope I never come across because I was really looking forward to it. It was like the second game of the season, right?
Yeah.
After the first game was a 4-2, and then I was like, okay, well, not bad. Newcastle is Aston Villa, and then that game could have put me to sleep. But I'm not saying this because I'm bitter Newcastle fans, right? Newcastle fans. Newcastle, all glory to you guys this season. Let's hope it goes well. The final game we should touch on is the Spurs and Burnley game. Spurs won 3-0 and Richarlison of all players scored two
Two
goals
goal.
two goals for Spurs. I think it's a very good managerial recruitment, Thomas Frank, because he's no longer the the gung ho football of Ange, right? Big Ange, right? So
Yeah.
I think they got that right. Kudus is going to be a top player for Spurs, and they imagine they bringing in Eze on top of that because Madison is injured, I think, for a big part of the season, right?
Yeah.
So they're gonna bring in Eze. So things are looking good. If Van der Ven can stay fit, then this is going to be a solid season, I think.
I feel the whole season is dependent on the centre backs don't fit.
Yeah, Romero and Van der Ven.
Romero, Van der Ven, which I feel Van der Ven is very injury prone. I
Yeah.
mean, hopefully things change this season.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Romero also actually, Romero and Van der Ven both are actually equally as injury prone if you notice. But they have
Yeah.
done so. They have Dagusin. But at the same time, I feel like the levels that they play when they have Van der Ven and Romero, right, is like they know that Van der Ven has the pace too.
Mhm.
So
To
the whole
cover
team can push
him.
up, and he
Yeah.
know he can. The whole team knows he can cover.
Yeah.
But as I
That's
said, the
right.
whole team depends, and I feel the somehow the Spurs team, right, they are very they got some injury problem. If you notice last season,
Mhm.
Yeah.
always hit by injuries. I mean, hopefully it changes this season for them
Mhm.
because I feel they have a solid coach. They have a good team. They have like Eze comes in. It's really good to replace a Madison, right? Madison is
Yeah.
also hella injury prone now. But
Yeah.
I genuinely feel like Spurs are really they have a shot for top four lah. Definitely.
Yeah.
If things click for them. Then Richarlison, there's only three certainties in life, right? Death, tax, and Richarlison
Yes.
performing when they got World Cup next season. There's only three certainties in life, bro. So
Uh,
this guy, I'm telling you, he will post himself. Just do you see his IG?
yeah, he
Yeah.
put the
He,
Ronaldo.
Yeah.
Ronaldo face, and dude, the confidence this man has. If I had half of it, right, I would be very successful with life. So,
Yeah, lah. These guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a friend who's a Spurs fan, a Sonic boy, right? We should have him on board someday to ask him about what his thoughts are. But I think it was a very straightforward game in terms of I see Burnley being relegated for sure. That I don't give Burn, especially when you have Scott Parker. Scott Parker is going to be sacked in 10 games, and then they'll find a
Mm.
replacement, and then that replacement guy might be Sean Dyche, and then it's just a yeah. I mean, in recent season we keep seeing it, right? The teams that ended up at the top in the championship level come up, and then automatically go back down. So Burnley is like to me like prime. Sorry if there are any Burnley fans listening to this. I don't mean any harm, but it is what it is. You guys are
Yeah.
just going in the back and then
They
go,
they 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 had a tough
going.
game, man. Burnley had a very tough game.
Yeah.
I think touching on Spurs injury issues. I think with Thomas Frank now as the coach, and the first few things we see coming out from Spurs when he first entered was his fitness program for the players, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think hopefully the Spurs players can be more
Cope,
fit, and
cope with it.
yeah, be more fit, and maybe don't get injured so much. But man, what a signing Kudus is.
Mm-hmm.
This
Kudos,
guy,
kudos to Kudus.
yeah, man, this guy, he was basically running it lah, basically, and of course he had help from like Bergval and everything, but dude, he didn't need help, man. This Kudus is just crazy. Richarlison, the Birdman. Uh,
Birdman doing
is
Birdman
it
things.
he got new tattoo? That one.
I don't
no,
observe him
no,
do
the
that.
the
Right?
the the
That one
the
like
pigeon,
tattoo. Is it no?
the pigeon.
Got one here big, sir. That one.
That one is since last time, bro. It's a,
Oh,
it's
from
a,
last
it's
time.
a, it's
I
a
thought.
bird, bro.
I think it's a last season. I think it's a last season tattoo. If I'm not wrong, it's a last
Bro,
season.
let me tell you, that man has a tattoo of himself at the
Yeah.
back,
Yes.
Ronaldo and Neymar, and
Nima.
he's in the
Yes.
middle, bro.
Yes.
This
That's right.
guy is a certified goat, bro. I'm telling you, I don't even know what to tell you. Like, but honestly, when he plays, I don't know, lah. Like Nicholas Jackson, right? Kind of reminds me, like they are like the similar
Mm,
profile, lah.
yeah.
Nicholas Jackson talking to the OnlyFans girls, or bro, this guy, bro, these guys, I don't understand, bro.
You
Like legit, no,
you
they
want
behaving like people don't know them.
you want you want to sell him? Then what you want me to do? Go to talk to OnlyFans OnlyFans creators, right? What else am I supposed to do in my free
Oh
time?
man.
These guys are crazy, bro. But Richarlison, like, honestly, they need Solanke, bro. Solanke is class. I
Hmm.
think this is the season where
Mm.
Solanke really, like, because I think he's still injured, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
When he comes on, when he's performing well, I think him and Richarlison, if they can compete against, like, with each other, right, I think there's a shout, man. Spurs don't, like, no joke, man. Although we gave them their first title last year,
Yeah.
which I'll never forgive United for, lah, right?
But
Yeah.
but one thing like we have to like address quickly is Son no longer being
Hmm.
a part of. I think what a fantastic player Son was, right? And
Yep.
then for him to go to LAFC, I feel it's too early. I feel like could have done something else before this. But of course, branding plays a part in football nowadays, right?
Yep.
Imagine the number of Korean fans or Koreans
Hmm.
in general in US, and then Son going to the States is such a big build for his brand. I mean, what more could he have achieved? He is like living on a higher at the end of the day,
Yeah.
right? He won the Europa with them thanks to Manchester United again, but he left on a high, and then
Maybe this episode should be just called the Manchester
10,
United show.
10 years. I didn't know that he played for Spurs longer than Harry Kane did.
Yep.
Right, that's a
Bro, he's
crazy.
and bro, I will never forget like his driving runs and his finesse shots in
I
is
remember like
insane lah.
first season he wanted to leave at the end of first season he wanted to leave because he wasn't getting the game time, and then from that to being captain of Spurs is such a massive
But
thing.
but also
Finally, the
on
Koreans are sorry. Finally, the Koreans don't have to pretend to support Spurs anymore.
Yeah.
but also, do you guys know, this is something that I just knew, that Son actually has a Adidas F50 boots that is his line.
Oh, really?
Oh, huh?
Dude, it's
Really?
crazy. Go check it out. He has like a Adidas F50 and there's a Son on the boots. Amazing. I didn't know that. He has his
Well,
own line of boots. So that's how crazy of a player he was,
that's
and
how they're
still
going to
still
sell
is.
more boots in US. That's
Mm.
basically what they're going to do.
Yeah, but
So
I think that sums up
yeah, but
Spurs,
a
right?
quick shout out that sums up all of our reviews. We are not going to be like one by one. Let's be honest. If it was a West Ham versus Burnley at 4 a.m., be it, bro. I'm
But
not watching. But these we are
mm,
talking.
mm,
Basically, when we started this podcast, right? We pulled in Ismam and then Heikel and myself. We watch a lot of football. So
that's right.
whatever games we are talking about are games that we watched, and then there are games that we have watched and also not discussed much because of duration. At the end of the day,
Yeah,
duration. We
but
don't want this to be super long. But Matt, shout out to Sunderland for
exactly
beating West Ham 3-0.
zero. Exactly.
And I'm going to this is a quick shout out that Graham Potter will be sacked by 10 games. This is my my new prediction to what is going to happen. Graham Potter is just not the right fit for a team like West Ham. Like okay, Graham Potter's best work was at Brighton, right? And
Yeah,
then he went to Chelsea, and then it didn't really work out. He needs a team like, say, Bournemouth or a Brentford, some team that has an idea of playing on the front foot rather than a West Ham that is more defensive minded. So when he went to West Ham, I was hoping that it would be good because West Ham are a great team that with great following that needs to be at a bigger level than what they always consistently
exactly.
achieve, right?
Mm.
So I was hoping that Graham Potter would be the guy to steer it, but it was apparent at the tail end of the season that he couldn't do it. He couldn't change the idea and the mentality of this team. I thought that maybe off season he might be able to implement these things. And the evidence of the first game, no, it's going to be long for West Ham. They should have never sacked David Moyes. If this is the
Yeah.
football and the profile of players that you have, right, David Moyes should never have left. So I think Graham Potter, 10 games, $10. My money is on it.
I think it's 10 game the Harry Potter take over. Ah.
Bro,
With
even
No.
spell book,
spell.
Hermione Granger as the assistant manager. Okay, but before we tie up and move on to the last part of the episode, I just wanna again Sunderland, what I just want to touch a bit on these two matches that we didn't touch because I
Mm,
I
mm,
watched all the game.
yes, sir.
Um Sunderland, what a way to return to the EPL.
Yep.
Crazy game. I think I sent a message to the guys, to the boys. I said at one point Sunderland was like tiki taka, man. They were moving the ball, passing the ball, and it was pretty crazy to see. Um
Oh, hello.
so what a way to come
Hello,
back.
Sophie.
A shout out to Sunderland's defense, Dan Ballard. Um
Mm-hmm.
Crazy performance. And then they have another defender, Elderat or something. Check him
We
out. He's pretty good.
second week we will get the name proper.
Pretty good. And then one more game, Forest versus Brentford, 3-1 win. Guys, Chris Wood, I'm not surprised. This guy is shout outs to all the Aussie mates.
I'm surprised
Crazy
that it followed. A lot of people was like
guy.
that was last season, like the Mo Salah theory, one
Yeah.
season wonder, right? We were
Yeah.
talking about, and then this he scored. Even his second goal was so unlike Chris Wood. Remember, he went past and
Crazy.
then
Bro,
dribbled the
how he
keeper.
ran even before he got the ball. He
He
started running.
saw
Do you see
he
him?
saw then he ran
He
immediately.
ran and
He
without even
ran
looking back. I
and
was so
onside.
amazed,
Onside.
You
The
know
Onside.
why
head.
not? I
He
think the
knew the
owner
ball was gonna come.
owner threatened him. The owner, like much like how
What
the
the
owner threatened Morgan Gibbs White to
Morgan
stay.
Gibbs White.
okay, but touching on the owner they pen the screen the camera to the owner. Damn, the guy looks scary. But we gotta give a shout out to Anderson, the one who
Oh,
assisted him.
baller, bro, that guy.
Bro,
Seriously.
crazy. Gibbs
Uh,
White as well played really well. And also they had a debut player who scored as well. His
Oh,
debut
the
goal,
header.
Endoy.
mm.
Yeah, the header
Enjoy,
was
yeah.
a thing
Forest
of
played
beauty, yeah.
Forest played well. I think I think they just need to tweak a few things, but ultimately the whole game, Chris Wood, amazing. I think that's about it for
This is
all the
my
games
quick
this
quick
week.
prediction on Brentford.
Mm.
Very early prediction, 16 position 16. You know what? They have lost. They have lost one. They've lost Thomas Frank, the manager,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
They've lost
yeah.
Thomas Frank.
Puemo,
Then they've lost Mbemo to Man U,
Yep.
and then they have lost
Wisa now also.
Norgard, their
Mm.
captain, to Arsenal,
Yep.
and then now they're going to lose Wisa. The Wisa and Mbemo were what, 40 goals
Mm.
between them.
Yep.
I think it's going to be such a tough job to. So I look at them 16 in the
Yeah.
event that one of the promoted teams like Sunderland, right, is doing well, right? They might be relegated. Here you heard it here first. If Brentford is relegated at the end of the season, y'all should find me, and then yeah, I'm gonna put $10 on that as well, Brentford to be right.
I think Brentford gets relegated. I think they do.
Oh,
I think they do
I
because
think
Sunderland actually looks like they can play. Yeah.
Yeah, because Sunderland
Uh,
invested in like solid guys like a Granit Xhaka, for example,
Chaka with
and
like Premier League
then
experience and all that. I'm really
Adingra is in Sunderland too, right? Adingra,
will be
hey,
mad scenes like if they
Adingra
beat
on the
Newcastle.
left, I tell you, ooh, you'll be mad,
Adingra
man.
is good,
I'm
sir.
surprised Brighton sold him because he was a top player. He's like the Dennis Schroeder of, like, if you guys watch
Hmm.
Yeah,
NBA,
yeah,
then
yeah,
you
that's right.
just
Yeah, yeah,
compare
yeah.
Dennis Schroeder and Adingra as the thing.
All
So
right,
yeah, that is pretty much
that
it.
was the review of the whole week.
So we are gonna do this one thing whereby at the end of every episode, we're gonna end it with the following, uh, say, your picks. Okay, so who is your top player of this week?
Ismam, go for it, man.
Top player of this week, I think would be Rangers, Tijani.
Boy,
Nice.
who's your top?
I actually got two, no, but then I only gonna give one. Okay, because
Mm.
both of these players
Follow the
got
rules,
got two goals. Both of these players got two goals. Both of these played amazingly well. But
Mm.
I have to give it to Chris Wood.
Mm. My
Crazy.
top player for this week is Semenyo. I wanted to say Rangers, to
That
be
was
honest,
my other.
but Semenyo, I think, given what happened, I think we spoke about it earlier,
Yeah.
to
Hmm.
still show up with that mentality, back to two fantastic goals. Yeah, Semenyo. Who's your
Shout out
tech?
to Eketike also,
Uh,
Ooh, that's right.
Shout out to
Hugo.
Eketike.
I saw someone
Hugo.
printed on the back of his shirt Ekitiki. He's because a techie guy. Hugo Ekiteki. So who's
Ah,
your team of the week?
this is deep. This is
While you
deep.
guys are thinking, I'll give you guys my team of the week. My team of the week is Sunderland,
Oh,
because I did not expect that to happen. Like to
Oh,
beat West Ham so comfortably in the
yeah.
first week, and then play some expensive football. How long will it last? I don't know, but we are talking week by week. So this week we might say Sunderland, and then next week
Yeah.
we might say they messed up, man. But for
hmm.
this week, my team of the week is Sunderland.
I've got Sunderland as well. I was so excited when I was watching the match. I never thought that I would be excited. I never thought I would tune in, but I thought, you know what? Why not? It was a good return for them. Stadium of Light was packed to the brim. I could hear everyone, like my TV was like, it was so loud, no, like,
Then
and you could
reduce the
see the
volume,
people.
lah.
Bro, my volume was at 10 only, yeah, like crazy, yeah, like, and then you see the people on the screen, they're so happy, and it was a really good comeback for them. Sunderland has got to be the team for me. I was so excited to watch them the whole game. I was like at the edge of my seat. I was like, wow, this is crazy. Yeah, man. So Sunderland for me as well. Team of the
I
week.
mean, both of you say Sunderland, I have to say something different, right?
No, I
Yeah,
For me,
mean
for
Sunderland is
no
Sunderland,
lah,
bro.
like okay lah. I mean, Sunderland is Sunderland,
Man
but
U.
of course, no lah.
Of course.
I think for me was the way City played lah. I was
Mm,
very impressed by them lah. I think that's my
Man City.
team of the week lah.
The
For
next
me.
one, if you guys have it, you guys have it. If you don't, it's all right. Goal
I have.
of the week.
I'll go first. I've got the
Mm.
Birdman for that volley.
Oh, that
So I
uh,
think that there was a lot of good goals, but I think that goal needed
mhm.
technicality, needed control, needed
Eh,
perfection. I think I gotta give it to him lah.
My goal of the week is Chris Wood's second goal. Solely because the weight of the pass, and then didn't expect Chris Wood to run that fast, and then he still rounded the
The
keeper.
keeper.
Unfortunately, my ex Liverpool keeper Gallagher was rounded off by Chris Wood, and then tapped in. So that, to me, that is my goal of the week.
Mine would be KSR. I think that was a very hard volley to take. And
For
at
the
that moment, I
Liverpool,
think
He
it was
ran.
a hard goal to score. Yeah. It's
that
harder. There were so many players. Oh, yeah. I
that
think that was my goal
Yeah.
of the week.
he had a very small angle to pivot his body,
Correct, correct,
and
correct. I
then
think that was class, that goal.
saw that not
Like
is
like
a super is a super pandit small angle to pivot
lucky
the
lucky
body.
So,
lucky 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 Konate didn't help
Screw the
uh
fella lah.
didn't help to defend because he was in front and he like "Ooh, ooh." Lucky he got out of the way. If not, yeah, but that was an amazing goal, man. Yeah.
Okay, so my final pick for you guys is your dishonorable mentions. When I mention dishonorable mention, right, it can be one team. This is that like the most poor performance or whatever reason. One team or a player or manager. So who would you guys say is your
Can I must it be a club or a player? Can it be
yeah
anything?
anything?
Okay, I got something to say first. I
Mm,
think I think I want to make this matter clear.
mm,
I think we got to say this again over and over again every season. Referees and VAR has to be more consistent.
correct.
Most of the calls throughout a lot of okay lah, maybe almost all the game. A lot of the calls were horrendous, horrible. I got to highlight two different situation. Senesi, that should have been a red card for
mm,
Right.
that handball. That
Mm-hmm.
was a deliberate handball. He tried to swipe the ball away. If not, Ekitike had the opportunity or the chance to control
True
the
on
ball
goal.
it
and
was true on
shoot
goals,
on
yeah.
goal.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, so that has to be given. I don't know why even the referee gave it to them, the free
Mm,
kick.
Yeah.
So that was weird. Another one is that was definitely a penalty for Cunha for United.
mm.
I'm not salty that we lost. It's fine, but that
Just
call
went for the backs, yeah.
has to be made. The call on the corner that Arsenal scored didn't get made. Okay, fine. It was a very tight
Mm.
decision, and Bayinde should have done better. Dilik, who was there, should have done better. Whatever, right? But Cunha, that was definitely a foul. Saliba was nowhere near the ball. He totally got his leg, and if not, we had an opportunity to score there, but it wasn't given. So yeah, refs and VAR has to be on point from now on. Like I still don't understand why there's so much discrepancies. There's so much like still problems with. You have the cameras now to see everything, and yet you still the decisions are still not great. So I don't know.
Shame,
That
shame
that
on
that
these
is that
people.
is my dishonorable mention for this week, and it's only the first week, so we'll see if he gets better throughout the whole season, man. What about you guys?
My dishonorable mention for this week has to be the Liverpool supporter that decided to become
Oh,
racist. To
yeah.
imagine such
Yeah.
a wonderful occasion, Diogo Jota's tribute, Liverpool's home game, and then you like I've heard about this before. Like it's not like we are a team that doesn't have black players, right? Right. You
Mm,
probably celebrated
mm.
Ekitike's goal, and
Mm.
then after that you decided to, and then he's been arrested. I heard yesterday he's a 47-year-old man got
Has he been
arrested.
banned as well?
His wheelchair, I'm not sure, but I think the right punishment for him would be to just take away his wheelchair. No, this no this I like I hate racists. I think this is
Yep,
something
yep,
that we all know, right? And
yep,
and
yep,
you are going to a football game, just enjoy the football match. I understand that some
yep.
players might annoy you. It's fine for you to like jeer them and whatsoever, but no, the
Don't
racism.
hate the player, man. Hate the game.
I hope he's banned. He doesn't represent all
Exactly,
Liverpool fans or the
exactly.
fans that were in Anfield. So yeah, to
Yeah.
me, boo to the fella.
He should be banned lah. I feel he should be
Yeah, I
banned
think
for
so. I
life,
think so. He's been
and
banned.
and he shouldn't be allowed to enter or any stadium or I don't know. Specifically Anfield lah.
Hmm.
Yeah,
All
Ismam.
stadiums and banned the
Yeah,
fella.
exactly. Ismam, what about you, man? What is your dishonorable mention, bro?
I was gonna say the Liverpool
Mm.
fan lah.
Right, that is
But
like one
Yeah.
sore thumbs.
but my every week this honorable mention are the ex-United legends. They are pissing me off, man. Chatting bare shit, bro.
This
Really,
week who?
like
This week who? This week who?
no,
Gary?
okay. This week okay. Gary was
Gines?
alright.
Skolzy?
Who?
Gines?
Ginevs, Ginevs is a problem also lah. We're Manchester United.
Roy Keane?
It's your
No?
fucking job, mates. Do your fucking job.
You are
Do you thank the
enemies!
postman?
Enemies! We're not
No
being
lah,
friends here.
just joking lah. I feel like some of them are way too harsh on our players lah.
You know
There's
who?
absolutely no need. Like even like okay, I'm not a fan of Jamie Carragher lah, but he doesn't really shit on Liverpool players as much.
Yeah, true.
You know, I just feel like our ex players, right? They okay, some of them like Roy Keane, whatever he says makes sense, but there's ways to do it lah. The
Rio
way
is
they
also
are
not bad,
so
bro.
toxic. Oh, sorry.
Rio. Ferdinand is
Rio
not
is more like I feel he's a bit more on the bandwagon
Bias,
guy
yeah.
lah.
He's a very
Yeah.
He's a biased bandwagon guy, but yeah, he's still alright. He's still not as negative as the rest.
Yeah.
Remember when he
that's
said,
right.
Yeah.
give Ole what he wants, but that's another day.
Contract. No, but end of the day, I just feel like for me the prat of the week are always like the ex-United players, which is sad to me because
Yeah.
like there was once Beckham came in and he also mentioned that shouldn't be talking like that about your players.
Mhm.
Like
Yes.
what do you get out of it? Like you put down your players.
But
Yeah.
And these players listen, bro.
it's just
They will listen to all these
punditry,
things.
bro. Like to me, if you are going to be the pundit that is going to stand on the, especially when you're on TV and all that, right? If you're going to just be, ideally, we would want to have like down the line proper punditry, right? But talking that way sells. End of the day, those things sells, right? So they are there for to have a job and then hope that their contract gets. But if people
Extended
want
lah. Mm.
proper punditry, you guys can always listen to us, and then next week
Definitely.
we'll bring
Mhm.
For
in
sure.
more. So the last thing that I want to see is our FPL league. Let me load it up now.
I'm gonna open up as well, bro.
You are finished lah, Ahmad. You are absolutely
you are
cooked.
gone. Right? I don't want to say.
Is game week 1? Would you man you lost? Would you guys say your team is gone on game week 1? No, right?
It's finished. See you next season, bro.
Oh, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We have 10 participants. This
Not
league
bad, yeah.
is growing. In another 10 more, we will have a whole EPL kind of list.
Okay, so you wanna
shout out to Yasir. Oh, Yasir is playing. Shout out to Yasir. He's on 7. How did he get 71 points in game week 1? Oh,
Bro.
Sonic Boy is on 2nd. And then Heikel's on 3rd. Anything after that, we're not going to mention because Mandem FC that belongs to me is on 8th.
You look like you're gonna be relegated, bro. Bottom 3, yeah, bro.
Like relegation fodder.
we should we should do something like whoever ends like top of the table, right? We will get you next season's jersey. Should we do that?
Yeah, sounds
Right.
good.
Yeah, we should.
Sounds like a plan actually, yeah.
So I should be prepared for the next year's Liverpool jersey from you guys because this is not going to last. 8th position is not going to be a forever thing.
Or is it you are going to be relegated and then you are just going to be out of the league straight away? You're the odd one out.
If I'm out of the league, you guys lose one player. We already have 9.
Hopefully.
Hey bro, why don't you you said that you should like put out the link outside so that others can join.
Yeah, for sure. We will give you guys the code. With that, we have come to the end of this episode of this roundup.
That's right.
It's been fun. It's been fun because this is something we have always wanted to do. We are not the first podcast to do football roundups. And shout out to all the other football podcasts. I missed the Malaysian one. There was this podcast called Balls Deep. I really enjoyed that. I hope they come back though. And we are also not going to be the last football podcast, right? So we are in this space. If you want to listen to weekly Premier League roundups, you guys can come here. We're going to talk about any team that has a game. Like I said, if it's going to be West Ham versus Burnley at 5 a.m., I'm going to sleep. But with that being said, if you guys are fans of other clubs or if you guys are even fans of like Manchester United, want to be a part of this show, join us, man. We can have 4 guys, we can have 5
Yeah.
guests, we have 6
hit
guests.
hit hit
Hit
us
us
up
up.
on our DMs, comment.
Mm.
Let us know, and then because if you don't tell us, we won't know, man. Like
Mm.
if you see our stories, comment on our stories, let us know, and then we can figure things
Especially
out.
like Spurs fans, City fans,
Mm.
Newcastle,
Yeah,
all these clubs. We want you guys on board so that,
that's right.
because we are only saying on the perspective of what we watch, right? We want to
Yeah,
hear like real fans of the club's perspective. So it's been a great episode.
oof,
We catch you guys
been good.
next week. With that said, my name is Maddie.
I'm Haika.
You'll never walk alone.
Ish.
Woo,
And
and we are the odds.
the outset. Catch you next week.
United, United.
Boo.